Hello and welcome to Homemaking with Joy. I'm Rachel, and in today's video I'll be sharing my April Azure Standard haul. In case you're not familiar with Azure Standard, it's basically a very large, very well organized co-op. You go to their website and order your groceries or whatever other household products that you want and that they offer. You order them online and then they get put on a large truck. You meet the truck at your drop site on your scheduled date, get it right off the truck into your car, and you can go home. I like this option because it keeps me out of the grocery store. They have a lot of really great organic options, and Azure Standard is a Christian company, which I prefer to support instead of the mainstream, not Christian stores. So if at all possible, I order from Azure Standard. The tricky part is you have to think ahead about a month. You have to put in your order at a certain time so you can have that put on the truck in time to get to you. I'm on the East Coast and I think Azure Standard is centralized on the West Coast, so there's the time for the truck to drive all the way across the country. But I'm super grateful that we can get lots of bulk items through them. Bulk buying saves me money, and I have learned to really cook from my pantry. It's important that I have a well-stocked pantry of basic items that I can use for many, many things. So I will show you what those items are now. I'm going to start with the small bags and then work my way up to the 50-pound bags. So to start with, these are organic dried cranberries and they're apple juice infused. So these are basically craisins. My kids really like craisins. I enjoy them on salads. I think they're yummy. However, they are chock full of sugar or fake sugars, depending on, So I wanted to get something a little more natural. Jessica from Three Rivers Homestead said that she got these for her kids, and so I thought I'd try them too. They are cranberries, and then they use apple juice to sweeten them. So we're going to try these. I actually got my order in a couple of days ago, and my kids have been dying to open this bag. So after this is filmed, they can finally eat some craisins, because that's a fun snack or treat for them. Then we have some organic yellow corn. So instead of using cornmeal from the store, I'd like to grind my own. If you don't know, I have a muck mill home flour mill or stone mill. Yeah, stone mill. And so you can put wheat berries like here, or you can put corn in to make cornmeal. So I want to make my own cornmeal. Got some corn. Then we move to the 25-pound bag. Forgive me, I'm not moving all of these bags while I'm sitting on the floor. So this is organic cane sugar. I like that I can buy it in this big bag because it'll last us quite a while. We are a low sugar family, but not a no sugar family. Like, you can't make chocolate chip cookies without some sugar. So if I'm going to use sugar, I'm going to at least use good sugar. And if you've been on my channel, you know I have a fabulous freshly milled chocolate chip cookie recipe that absolutely uses sugar. And so I need sugar because sometimes you really need chocolate chip cookies. And so we're going to make them. So this is great to have on hand. Like I said, it'll last us a while. And I like knowing that it's one of the better options, because that's really all you can ask for, right? Work with what you have and get the better option when possible. Let's move on. So these 3 bags, 1, 2, 3, are all 50-pound bags of wheat berries. Azure Standard is my favorite place to order wheat berries because I can just lump it in with the rest of my order. I like that it comes in these big bags. So this is hard white wheat, all organic, soft white wheat and hard red wheat here in the back. I use all of these for different applications. So the hard white wheat is most like your all-purpose flour from the store. So this is mostly like muffins and cookies, and you can use it for bread too, for a more mild tasting bread. The soft white is what I use for pancakes, sometimes for muffins. What else? I don't know. There are other applications. Look on my channel. There are recipes. And then the hard red, and that's what I often use for sandwich loaves, for my pizza crust. I like that flavor for pizza crust better. So they all have different applications, and so I like to keep them all in stock. They're also a great preparedness item for me. So having these in my basement, we're in my basement right now, if you can't tell. We don't have old ugly pink walls upstairs. Having these in my basement, having them on hand all the time, these are incredibly versatile. I can make so many things with wheat berries and my grain mill upstairs that it's really helpful for us to have these on hand. And if need be, these could last us quite a long time. along with all of the other ingredients I have on hand, of course. So it's peace of mind. They're delicious. Because I'm buying the whole organic wheat berry and grinding it myself, they're nutritious, they're delicious, they fill us up, and especially with growing kids, they go through carbs, and that's okay because their bodies need carbs. Because have you seen, no, you haven't seen, but do you have toddlers who just like run all day long? All day long. Like, it's bedtime and they're ready to sprint for 15 more minutes, get red in the face and sweaty before they fall asleep. Meanwhile, I'm dragging myself to their rooms to put them to bed. So that's a small side note. But if your kids are like that, don't worry about the carbs. They're gonna burn them off just fine. Okay, what else? I wanted to show you how I process them from here. So you go to your drop site, get them off the truck, load them in your car. Your very kind husband carries your 50-pound bags down the steps, and then I put them in the freezer. So if you're gonna eat your food right away, this is not such a big deal, but because it's gonna be living in my basement for 6 to 12 months based on, the volume that I have here, I'm going to put each of these bags in the freezer for 3 to 4 days. Don't get grossed out, this is real, but there could be bug eggs in my food. It's in grocery store food too. Don't be concerned, but especially because it's bulk, there could be bugs in it. So I put it in the freezer for a couple of days to kill any possible bug eggs that could be in it, because I don't want them to hatch and then be all around in my basement and like actually in my food. So I put them in the freezer for a couple of days, and then I'll take them out and let them thaw completely. That's one of the things I like about these bags, is that when you take them out of the freezer and they thaw, like the bag absorbs any moisture, and so it doesn't mess with the wheat berry. I've done this multiple times. So then I let it sit on top of the freezer for a day or so to let it thaw completely and dry. And then I grab a food grade bucket. Food grade bucket. So you can buy food grade buckets, or one of my favorite tips is to go to your local grocery store and ask the bakery department if they have any extra leftover icing buckets or food buckets. You want food grade buckets, not just any random bucket. Food grade buckets. That's food grade plastic. Do I love storing things in plastic? No. Is it the best option? Yes. So grab some of those. This is actually from my local grocery store. This used to be a buttercream icing container. And if you look at these ingredients, you never want to eat this stuff again. It's gross. But I have my own label. This happens to be my rolled oats. So I have these here. I also highly recommend the gamma lids for on top. So these, you pound on the sides and then you twist, and it creates a seal. There's a rubber gasket and everything. And then it's much easier to get in and out of. You can buy these. I got most of mine at Lowe's. You can also order them from Azure Standard. This is just a 5-gallon bucket. Sometimes if you go to your bakery department, you'll also get smaller ones. Like they gave me this size. Sometimes they'll ask me if I want the lids, and for these weirder sizes, I do often say yes. Or this one. I don't know how much this one is, but this used to be Glaze and Shine, a donut glaze. I'd much rather have beans in it or something. So I have a bunch of these. Ideally, I would have like 2 full buckets of each thing in my basement so that I could rotate through them, but I'm working on it. You gotta fit everything into the budget. So freezer, thaw, into the bucket. I do not use oxygen absorbers because it's not going to be longer than 6 to 12 months, so I don't need to worry about that. But if you want to look into more long-term storage options, be my guest. I'm just sitting in front of me. I have big buckets of all of these wheat items, the sugar, and big bags of food grade buckets. Food grade buckets of white rice, brown rice, and I have a couple of beans, containers of beans that I like to keep on hand, dry beans. And I'm always working on increasing my food storage. You can see, obviously, we have 2 freezers down here. Food pantry and food storage is important to me, and so I'm slowly developing that as I can, seeing what our family really goes through, and again, keeping those staples on hand, because I really like when I have the urge to cook something and I can just grab it. Or my husband has said it's so nice that we never run out of things. Like keep extra condiments and I keep extra of our favorite things on hand all the time. So if we run out upstairs, run downstairs, grab another one, and just put it back up. Then it goes on the grocery list, and then we restock downstairs. So there's always that system. It has taken me quite a while to put this system in place, but I'm super proud of it, and it works really nicely. And it's one of those joys of being a homemaker, of seeing this pantry that I've built, of knowing that I'm taking care of my family, whether it would be job loss or something crazy happens, or like there's a snowstorm and we just can't get to the store. We will be fine. We'll be okay. And it's convenience. And it just, when my husband compliments me and thanks me for putting all this effort in, it really means the world to me because I have put a lot of effort in. It does take time to build this in our culture of just run to the grocery store for it. Well, what if that's not an option? Or what if that's not your best cost per unit? Or what if that's not the quality of product that you want? Do you want more organic stuff? And like these, I mean, you can't even buy wheat berries in a regular store, but a small bag would probably cost an arm and a leg. And so I'm not going to do that. I can take the time, I can be patient, and because I have this bulk pantry, I can plan ahead, I can order from Azure, and then I can get these lovely products and fill my basement and take care of my family. Because that is my ultimate goal, to take care of my family, whatever circumstance that I can. We don't have control. Only God knows what's coming in our future. But if I can be mindful and work a little bit harder and how all these things set up, that makes a lot of other parts of our lives much easier. So I hope this can be encouraging to you. I hope you can try Azure Standard. I really like it, and I'm continuing to explore different items that they offer. I mostly get basic bulk pantry staples like this. I've also gotten like big bags of chocolate chips, the big tub of peanut butter, which I need to put on my next order, stuff like that. They also have fresh produce. They have a whole bunch of stuff. So I will link their website down below. They recently, not quite recently, in the past couple of years, expanded their routes. And so they have lots and lots of drop sites all over the place. So I'm sure you can find one near you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video. It's time to take care of these.